You folks are too kind. But it's good to be here today, and it's good to see all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As was mentioned, I am David A. Clarke, Jr., the Sheriff of Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, and I stand here as one of we the people. It is a pleasure to be among so many freedom-loving Americans. We have many things in common, but the golden thread that weaves among each of us is our understanding of the important role that the Second Amendment to the Bill of Rights contained in the United States Constitution played at the inception of this great experiment in self-rule, and plays an even bigger role today in ensuring liberty. So why am I here? Why is the county sheriff among the giants and heavyweights privileged to address this gathering of hardworking, God-loving patriots that make up the United States of America? Giants like Mark Levin. I love Mark Levin. He's like me, he plays smash-mouth politics. I am here because, as you already know, the country that we understood at its founding is under siege. It's under siege by a cabal that would transform us into something other than what the Founding Fathers wanted for every generation that followed. Our liberty is under siege by people like former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg and his group, Mayors Against the Second Amendment, of which the mayor of Milwaukee, Tom Barrett, proudly proclaims to be a founding member. This group of tyrants wants to disarm us. They want to deny you and me our freedoms guaranteed under the Constitution of the United States. Our Second Amendment is under siege by intellectual elitists like former United States Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens, who wrote in an editorial in the Washington Compost newspaper, as Mark Levin affectionately likes to call it. Justice Stevens said that this confusion over the meaning of the Second Amendment can be solved by adding 5 words. He would rewrite it to read, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, now get this, when serving in the militia shall not be infringed. My reaction was, what? Now I know that people like Justice Stevens like to think that they're smarter than the rest of us, but with all due respect, just what part of shall not be infringed does Justice Stevens not understand? I have a better way of clearing up any confusion that activist judges have about the meaning of the Second Amendment. I would add these 7 words at the end of the clause: the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Keep your hands off our guns, damn it. There, those 7 words should clear up any confusion. My fellow patriots, I've had it, and I'm tired of seeing the Second Amendment treated like the bastard child of the Bill of Rights. I'm tired of seeing courts of law and liberal congressional and state legislators contort the meaning of the right to keep and bear arms into a definition so limited that we don't even recognize it. I'm tired of law-abiding citizens like you being viewed by leftist government officials as clingers, bloodthirsty, racists, and extremists. I know you better than that. These people know that the first step toward putting us back into subservience to government is to disarm us. And that's why they fear you, because you possess the means under the Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, to keep government in check. Ladies and gentlemen, the armed citizen made America free, and the armed citizen will keep America free. And I'm here for another reason. As a public servant, I took a solemn oath to defend and support the Constitution of the United States and the state in which I reside. Unfortunately, for too many in government service, those are just words. But when I put my hand on the Bible and made that promise to defend freedom, I damn well meant it. So as a career cop of 35 years, I got tired of seeing good people like you being raped or having guns stuck up against your heads and your property taken. I got tired of seeing law-abiding people having their homes broken into, their cars stolen, being intimidated by thugs and gangs and being prisoners in their own homes, afraid to go outside or let their kids play in front of their house because their neighborhoods were under control of the criminal element. I decided it was time for me to partner with law-abiding people like you on going on offense against the criminal element and begin to fight back. To do so, however, citizens need the tools guaranteed under the Second Amendment. I call the law-abiding armed citizen the great equalizer. I trust the law-abiding armed citizen. In my county recently, a maintenance man simply doing his job in an apartment building in a high crime area was being savagely beaten by 3 suspects, one wielding a small club. He told me afterwards he thought he was going to die. He was able to pull his firearm from its holster and deliver 2 shots, killing 2 of the suspects and saving his own life. In another incident, 3 masked men, one armed with a gun, burst into a tavern, told the patrons to get on the floor and announced a holdup. The bar owner grabbed his firearm that he kept behind the bar and killed one of the holdup men. The other 2 fled like the cowards that they were. In a third instance, a Good Samaritan driving home from work stopped to aid a woman who was being violently beaten on a sidewalk by a man. When he told the suspect to stop beating the woman, the suspect turned and ran at the Good Samaritan, who pulled his gun from his holster, pointed it at the suspect, and told him that if he took one more step, he would shoot him. The suspect stopped his advance and fled like the coward that he was. Ladies and gentlemen, those firearms in the hands of law-abiding citizens saved people's lives. So what do we do? What's the plan? First, all of you have to know that defending freedom is going to be a fight that has no end. And if you are going to stand with me, you can't be afraid to get your knuckles bloody. If you're going to stand with me, you have to be willing to resist any attempt by government to disarm law-abiding people by fighting with the ferociousness of a junkyard dog. For it says in the Declaration of Independence that it is our right, it is our duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for our future security. Read your Declaration of Independence. Second, we have to stand together by joining and supporting organized efforts for freedom and liberty, like the National Rifle Association and other pro-gun groups as well. And third, we need to support elected officials who demonstrate, not just talk, because in my world, talk is cheap. They must demonstrate a willingness to resist any and all legislation that scales back our Second Amendment rights. These legislators have to vow publicly that they will vote down any legislation that limits magazine capacity and legislation like universal background checks that are nothing more than a smokescreen toward gun confiscation from law-abiding citizens like you. And do not trust that the courts are on our side. Justice John Paul Stevens proved that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll close with this. About a year ago, I put out 3 personal defense radio ads, and I ended them by saying, "We're partners now. Are you ready?" Thank you. God bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.